Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Two of Cups. We've been getting a lot of cards of kind of like unions of love lately. You know, this idea of togetherness, this idea of kind of one-on-one interactions. I think your one-on-one interactions are very important to you. You're more of an intimate kind of person rather than a kind of group activity kind of person, you know. You like to share your energy with one person at a time, friends, family members, co-workers. I feel like you give everybody your full attention, okay? And I feel that when you give somebody all of your attention, then they sort of are inspired to do it too, and then the two of you together just are able to create something beyond either of you, right? And maybe it's just that kind of magical moment where two people are just so intensely focused on each other that something magical happens, you know? It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be business, friends, family, all these different sort of interactions, yeah? You're somebody that can really make the other person feel like they're the only person in the world right now. You know, it's a way for you to you focus on whoever's sitting across from you. And they feel that they're the only one that matters. And that's a pretty special quality that you have of really connecting with people that way. You know, it speaks to your, it speaks to the work that you've done. It speaks to your karma, you know. It speaks to your spiritual evolution. Yeah, a lot of love here. We're going to put this into some context and see what else is going on. 2 becomes a 3. Okay. All right. Interesting. Interesting. 4 of Wands, 2 of Wands. The Universe card, the Star card, the Lovers card, the Hanged Man, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Magician. It all sort of ends with the Magician there, right? Going from a 2 to a 3 of Cups, some of you are expecting a new addition to the family. Either yourself or someone close to you, maybe a family member. I feel like somebody's having a baby, right? From a 2 to a 3, I think is really, really nice. You know, it's very good energy. We have good fire, and it was really, really nice cards today. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down right here and put tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. All right. Now, if you have a prediction for that card, I want you to put it down in the comments. Let's do it together as a group exercise. All right. Let's take a look around the room. We've got major, a lot of major arcana. Everybody in their readings have been getting a few major arcanas. A lot of the time, for a lot of readings, we're getting like 5, you know, like you've got 5 major arcana cards, which shows that there are things going on in your life that are beyond your control. Okay, there are things that are coming into your life, things that are meant for you, things that are your destiny, right? That it's kind of there. It's really big picture stuff. Okay, so we've got a lot of major arcana energies. We've got some fire. We've got some water. We don't have any air. We've got earth. Okay, we don't really need the air right now, I think, because we've got the star card. That's Aquarius, air. We've got the Gemini energy with the lovers. That's air. We've got the Mercury energy, which is, well, it's Mercury. It is a card of communication and thought as well, right? So we kind of have everything we need here, and it looks really, really nice. Let's talk about the Three of Cups, though, for a second, because this is, I think maybe you don't know that somebody's having a baby, but I think that news is coming in soon. Spirit's telling me that the family situation is just going to get better. Maybe it's already good. It's going to get better, right? And I think in no small part because of your Two of Cups, because of your ability to connect with people in the way that you do. I think that your family is maybe expanding, but it's becoming more close. There's an intimacy happening, right? And that's a good thing. This Three of Cups is also talking about kind of a celebration. So it feels that for some of you, there's going to be that new addition to the family. It's going to be a reason to celebrate. A lot of congratulations are in order, okay? But this is also something else. This is the idea that you plus the other people in your life, the other person, the people that you talk to. Like I said at the first part of the reading here, that every person you talk to, you give your full attention, it brings something out of them, and the two of you together create some sort of magic moment. Well, that's this. This is that connection. This is that intimacy that you feel, when you're connecting with the right people. I think you can do this really with anybody, but not everybody gives you the response, Not everybody is going to resonate with you, okay? Don't go around thinking that everybody is going to just absolutely love you and be your best friend. Maybe they do. Maybe they will. But the right people, it comes together. It is magic, right? Magic. And I think that you're kind of getting some unexpected magic right now. I feel that with the Four of Wands here, there is a karmic cycle that is ending for you, and it's really leading to a lot of sort of different opportunities in your life. And that's kind of reflected up there with the, excuse my voice today, with the Universe card. Okay? Because with the Universe card, it's kind of showing infinite possibilities. The Four of Wands is sort of it's a completion. It's we've went around once. There might be some sort of, this really could be a birthday for someone. But this is the idea of the cycles that we go through, right? It could be your solar cycle, lunar cycle, could be other planetary cycles. It could just be these kinds of, these kind of karmic knots that we're trying to work out, right? But I think that you have sort of a sense of routine about your life, that you don't really like to stay in any one place for too long. The Four, anytime we get a Four, we start looking for the Five, right? Because we get a Four and we think, eventually you're going to kind of get the travel bug again. You're going to start getting the itch to move, So we get the Four and it's good, and we're happy to be done with that cycle, and we went around the Ferris wheel one more time. And now it's time to do something. It's time for some change. I think that that your course in life is now taking a different direction. It's all part of the plan. We see that with the Star card here. But I think it's time. You've come to a stop sign, and we're just sort of, we know that Spirit's going to tell us whether we're going straight or left or right. It's one of those moments where the path changes a little bit. Okay? The Two of Wands in the background here, I think that maybe there was a small disagreement with someone in your family recently. I think all of that is everything that's going to be forgotten, basically, right? I think that there really is some very wonderful news coming for your family situation, whether it's your larger family, your extended family, maybe your in-laws, maybe just you and your partner, or maybe just you and your pets, your plants. Really good family news coming, Okay, and I think you're going to forget all about whatever this conflict was back here. But this might have been kind of a decision that you and someone were kind of trying to make together. But I feel that this is, this is the idea that it's good to have these kinds of disagreements or these kind of arguments with people, especially if this is concerning your future and your life and where to go from here. Because nobody wants anyone, whether it's business or in family, personal life, your romantic partner, to just go along with everything you say. It's through the challenges of other things that we're kind of stimulated, that we can grow and we can transcend. And that's part of your Two of Cups there too, is having that intense focus on somebody and brings out their sort of best qualities, and together you make magic. Well, this is kind of the same thing, but this is... It's, the Two of Cups maybe makes it seem that it's just like, it's just all love and flowers and roses and we're having cupcakes together, But this is kind of like we're challenging each other. That we are both growing through this process of like we're wrestling, we're playing tug of war, This is very good for your growth, yeah. And I think that there's someone in your life that you are kind of having that sort of tug of war with. In some ways, I feel that that's going to kind of give way to whatever this family thing is. This is going to be kind of a backseat thing, because it's kind of like you're sort of wrestling with this idea of moving in a certain direction, but then there's this family thing that happens, and it's kind of like it's obviously it's not up to us. We're going to go in this direction, So something's happening that's going to take you in a different course, a different direction than what you've been sort of struggling to figure out, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it's kind of taking you where you've never been before. Here is the universe card. I think that it really is, I think that there's travel in your future for sure. Okay. But I feel that this is a lifting of boundaries. This is, the openness that you have to whatever this next adventure is going to bring you. Okay? You have a tremendous trust in the universe. I feel that in you. I feel that you have a very, you're very, I don't know what the word is. You're even in difficult situations, you're very positive. You're very optimistic. I feel that you're a cheerful person. I feel that there's an underlying joy in your life. That even when there are obstacles and even when there's uncertainty and indecisions, you sort of have this smile because you know that the universe has got you, right? I feel that you're sort of open to whatever path the universe reveals to you. Yeah. I think that that there's a change of fate taking place here. I think that what we were sort of debating, what we were fighting for, wrestling with, has now given way to something that sort of takes the decision away from you. It's kind of like you're trying to decide what to do, and then suddenly there's a new baby. Well, it's just like, now everything's completely changed. I wouldn't be surprised if our mystery card is a Tower card. It's kind of this surprise energy. But you feel like someone who is totally open to whatever life brings you, knowing that you are this, spiritual entity on a spiritual quest, and everything is welcome, right? Now, of course, we're going to try to steer the ship in a pleasant direction, and that's not always the case. I think you've been through enough of these cycles in your life, these kind of karmic cycles, that it's not always going to be perfect, right? With the Four of Wands here, I feel like you've been redecorating something anyway. Like, I don't know if you've been sort of renovating one of the rooms of your house, and it just so happens now that maybe that's where the baby can go. But I feel like you've been making some sort of changes in a particular room of your house, maybe for no real reason. Maybe you've been clearing it out, kind of cleaning it and painting it again, just kind of keeping it, restoring it to a new condition. And maybe it's just an old room. I don't know if it was a workshop or something, or an old bedroom, and it's now just kind of like it's ready to go for something else, but you don't know what to do with it yet, right? So I feel like you've been fixing up some room in the house anyway. The Star card in the future position. This is destiny. The Star card does two things. First, it illuminates what's going on within you, shows you where your karmic cycles are, shows you where your knots are, where the energy blockages are, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that you can work on those, okay? And once we begin that process, that light that's filling us up starts to spill out onto the ground in front of us. Okay, and we can kind of see where it's illuminating the path. So we sort of know what the next step is, right? I think Spirit slowly reveals your destiny to you. And I really like that we have a star and we have the universe itself. Because the universe is composed of stars and of antimatter and dark matter, whatever, I don't know, all sorts of stuff, I guess. But we all think from here, looking up at the sky, we think it's just a black canvas with a lot of little shiny, sparkly dots, right? So the universe is filled with stars. I feel like you're trusting the universe that it is sort of, it is showing you what your trajectory is through the universe, and it's bringing you into sort of a constellation with all the right people and all the right places and all the right things. Spirit's saying that all the resources you need are going to be there. Maybe this sort of argument, this wrestling over here was kind of about money, and Spirit's saying that you're going to be in the right constellation, is what I'm hearing. And that means you're going to have the right people, the right resources, the right circumstances. Everything's going to come together for you as you need. The universe provides, right? And I feel like you know that, and I feel like that gives you a sense of calm in your life. Yeah, sense of calm in your life. I don't know if this is a baby, okay? But some good news is coming into your family situation, and it's going to kind of change what your plans are going forward, okay? And you're going to be totally okay with that. But I think it's happening very fast, and it's going to require some immediate action on your part. Okay, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It's very good for the channel, and I appreciate that. We need to be supporting all of our favorite YouTube tarot readers. Not just me. I know I'm your favorite. Everybody else too. Like the videos. Watch them all the way through. Watch your other placements. Leave a comment, even if it's just to say hi, and definitely subscribe to the channels, okay? Again, not just me, but all of your favorite readers. All right. Let's talk about this Lover's card. The Lover's card is really, this is something that's outside of your control. This is an inspiration. This is a falling in love. This is a perfect union that is not your, it's not your doing. Like, you didn't ask for this. You can't, in other words, you can't help how you feel here. It's a spiritual force in your life. You're not choosing to be in love with this thing. It's something that is happening. Okay? And I feel that this is kind of your general energy right now. I feel that you are tremendously inspired, or you will be tremendously inspired by whatever this thing is. And to me, it kind of feels like a new addition to the family. And it's an inspiration, and it's going to change the course of your life, and it's something that you absolutely fall in love with, right? The Lover's card is not always about romance, although it could be. Maybe that's what we see here with the 2 and the 3 of Cups, is the beginning, the birth of this romance, of this new kind of falling in love, true love romance for you. It could be. You know, I don't purposely do like romance readings on this channel. I try to sometimes even avoid them, but sometimes they just come through. And I'm not going to try to censor it, you know, but sometimes they just come through. And I've noticed in a few readings lately, for a few different signs, there's been that sort of romantic vibe spilling through in the readings, all right? I think it's something in the air. It's something in the energy right now, collectively, that this is this is really starting to happen. That energy is present for a lot of you, okay? So when we look at the Lover's card and the 2 and the 3 of Cups, yeah, it could say that, hey, this is This is an amazing opportunity to find the one you love, right? To get to be with the one you love. If you're already in a romantic relationship, this could be the new addition. It could be that marriage or some sort of a deeper union, right, is on its way for the two of you. Okay. For those of you not interested in the romance, this is something else that you are falling in love with. Okay, and it could be an idea, it could be a new creative project, it could be a spiritual thing, it could be God, right? Goddess, deity. It is going to require, however, the hanged man. It is going to require some sacrifice, some suffering, right? What good is love if there's not a little bit of suffering to go along with it? The hanged man, though, I think is very, very positive card right now, and it's in the position of the environment. This is like what you're willing to do for the sake of this beloved thing, beloved person, energy, whatever it is, right? For the beloved. This is everything that you are willing to do, everything that you are willing to endure, everything that you're willing to sacrifice for the sake of this other thing. Yeah. And I think that this puts life in a different perspective for you. The hanged man is usually about, well, how are we looking at things, right? Life is kind of being turned upside down right now. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Tower card, so the mystery card. Because I feel that this is, you're looking at life from a different angle now. It's kind of like, I think you've always had a sense of purpose. You've always had this idea that the universe is taking you where you need to go and putting the right things in your path, and delivering you to the right quadrant of space and time, where you're meant to be. But I feel like with the Lover's card and the Hanged Man, there's really this sense of devotion, and I don't know, it's something's different. Something is changing in you. The way you're seeing the world is changing. Okay. And well, it could really be from going from this sort of fiery combination, you and another person sort of energy, into the very watery energy that we see here. It could be that whatever this cycle was is done, and now you're moving into a cycle of water energy. Okay, maybe this was worldly ambition, career ambitions. Maybe this is family stuff now. There's a shift in focus. They're looking at life through a different lens. The Hanged Man feels like your priorities are shifting. Maybe even complete 180 shift of priorities. Use the dream catchers. You make dream catchers, or you've got the dream catchers. Seeing all those circly webs, right? I love dream catchers. I feel like you have a bunch, or you make them, or something like that, or you've been looking at them. I don't know. I kind of feel like you caught one. I feel like you caught a good one now, But I think it's going to turn things upside down. I think that it is. It's leading you to look at the world a different way, and I think there is a big shift in priorities now. The difficulty here is the Nine of Pentacles, the visible signs of progress, the idea of gain, the idea of sort of having enough. And it's our first real encounter with the earth energy, coming back now to practical life. If this is a child, this is the concern that I don't have enough resources to give it. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough anything to give this thing the very best that it can get, that it deserves, So there is, I think, a concern, a worry that kind of like that there won't be enough, But then I sort of contrast what we said about the universe card, because the universe is telling you that everything you need, all of the resources that you need, it's going to be fine. The universe provides. You have to put in the effort, and effort, or you've got these fire cards. But if you put in the effort, the universe will respond. Okay, that the right people and circumstances and resources will be there when you need them. This is, of course, that other side of that where we're kind of worried about, am I going to have the people and the resources and the circumstances when I need them? And the thing with the Nine of Pentacles is it's never going to be enough. You know, if we're sort of waiting for, I don't know, let's say this is the romantic thing. We're sort of waiting for our career to reach a certain level before we start thinking about romance. Well, it's never going to be enough. Right? What is the kind of endpoint there? Where do we say, okay, when do we get the Ten of Pentacles that says, okay, that's enough. So now I can make that transition into these other interests or areas of your life. I think it's going to be about a week. I think in the next week you're going to get some really, really good news that's going to change the course of your life. It might be about a family addition. It might be about a romance. It might be even that your heart just sort of falls in love with something else, a different path, a different course of study at university, a different career field, whatever it might be, okay? And the idea that we're sort of worried about the practical things, is a very real concern. But don't let this prevent you from doing it, see? We've got the Magician coming next. You got to cross over this fear. And this is the fear like, well, I can't go take this other job in this other career field because it doesn't pay enough, or I don't have enough money to support the family, or, I don't have the time to take on these other interests, or, I can't just leave the practical life that I'm living to do something that is, sort of more spiritual and more heart-led, right? The Magician finds a way. The Magician, the skill of the Magician is to use the elements that are around to create reality. The universe provides the materials. The Magician does not create something out of nothing. Stuff is already here, right? And it's our magical responsibility to use what is around us to the very best of our ability, to optimize everything. We don't want to let anything go to waste, right? Everything is useful. And if it's not useful in its current configuration, it can be recycled, and that energy can be reclaimed. That material can be reclaimed and used towards something else. The Magician is the one that finds the way. And I think that part of this, the Magician and the Star card are really very similar energies to me. And it's kind of, it's sort of one kind of morphs into the other. Because the Star card is all about letting the divine light come in to show us where our problem areas are so that we can be a perfect conduit of the light. And then that light starts to show on the ground where our path is, and we can travel that path. The Magician is the one that does that. The Magician is the one that has the experience of this, because the Magician is the pure, clean conduit of divine energy. There are no blockages in the Magician, at least ideally, right? The light comes in, and it goes straight out into the world, building up whatever it is, being constructive, using the divine energy to manifest the reality, okay? So the Magician is that conduit of that spiritual force of creation. And you are a creator. And I think you have been creating a lot in your life. We've got fire and earth here. We've got fire. And I even look at the Four of Wands as sort of a fire and earth card, right? Because it's wands, it's fire, but it's a 4. 4 is the number of the earth, right? 4 elements, 4 directions, 4 winds, all that stuff. So I feel that you are really a creator here. And the more of this internal work that you do, the more of a pure conduit for that divine energy, that creative light you can transmit. Okay? In a very practical way, the Magician is the most adaptable of all the cards, right? It is an individual, but it's able to enter into combination with any other force and really make it happen. I mean, this is kind of like the business consultant, right? The expert of business and commerce that can go into any company and make it a success. It's a booming business, and then they just walk out the door and on to the next one, you know. Anything that you enter into contact with, it's your duty to optimize it and make it the very, very best that you can, especially when the circumstances are beyond your control. Suddenly you find yourself in this new situation, on this new kind of, the path has taken a turn, right? There's been a change of fate. You're going to do the absolute very best that you can to optimize it, to make it the very, very best, right? And I don't think you really are someone that is kind of preferring the old path. There's no swords cards here. There's no doubt about anything. In fact, there's just this underlying certainty, this sense of responsibility, this sense of enlightenment, a sense of pride, even a sense of joy, a sense of humility and sacrifice too, though, right? And so I feel that you take every twist and turn of life as just another exciting part of the journey, you know? And so there's not a lot of doubt. There's not a lot of second guessing. There's no questions. There's no swords cards at all, which is very, very rare, right? But very good. So I think that this new situation as it unfolds, I feel like you're right there, just right along with it, adapting to it perfectly. You know, perfect magician here. I want to look at the mystery card. I want to see if this is maybe the Tower, maybe it'll be a little bit of air energy. If you have a prediction for this card, put it down in the comments. Let's take a look. Ace of Pentacles, there is the thing, there is the news, there is something coming your way saying, the Spirit saying, here you go. And then that's it. And then that's it. That's what you got to do. It's the beginning of a new path. Could represent the baby, right? It could represent the new addition to the family. It could represent the new path that you are now walking with this soulmate partner. It could be the new life you're beginning to live out in your new career choice, or your new sort of course of study at university, right? And the idea that there are no swords cards reinforces that this is not just you kind of sitting down and saying, I'm dissatisfied with my life and I think I'm going to make some changes. Let me write down a list of things I like and figure out what I want to do next. No, it's something that hits you like a ton of bricks, like you're shot with Cupid's arrow, something that you cannot control, being inspired in that way. It's happening to you from Spirit, right? It's not just your mind kind of trying to work out a different path. All right? But the path is here. It is a gift. It is a gift. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Taurus every Monday and Friday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Also, leave a comment for me and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.